traditional lands of the Guinemayan people of the Guinemayan nation, and to pay my respect to elders both past, present and emerging. I've come from a country that has now been through 2 civil wars, so I appreciate its hospitality. I'm Abdulkadir Abdullah, an academic captain and a senior student. Throughout the last couple of years, I've always wondered what my senior spotlight would be like. I thought about the lessons I would share with you since I was in year 7 or 8. So it's cool that the time I've been waiting for has finally come, and so quickly. So when I'm presenting now, it's as though I'm presenting to myself of my junior years. So I like to imagine that this spotlight is targeted to myself in year 8 as a lesson from the future, and to myself now as a reminder to be grateful of how I develop as a person and as a stepping stone for myself as I'm maturing into an adult. When I look back, it seems like I've always aimed big, maybe too big. Whenever I'm enjoying an activity, I try to scale it up, making it more difficult for myself. But we know what happens when we overextend. We fall down and hard. I never fully internalized this concept. I'll share an example. In year 8, I tried to psychoanalyze my entire cohort for a science report, and 2 months later, I was still stuck crunching the data with no end in sight, demonstrating a clear lack of foresight. I tried for 3 years, doing a new research project each year, and my most successful attempt was my simplest, a simpler idea and a smaller sample size. I did better by doing less. It made these projects easier for me to consistently build upon and have a clearer direction for my work. So what can we learn from this example? It's simple. Whenever we're experiencing difficulty with our projects, it's always better to take small steps. As small as they can be, especially if it's your first time. We should take the easiest path towards our goals. So easy that you can't say no, and slowly build upon them. We all have the time, and we can make the time for small changes. I remember an example of the effects of incremental change from the book Atomic Habits. Imagine improving by 1% every day. By the end of the year, you've already improved by 365% in anything, let's say writing. Clearly, we don't need to rush everything, especially when we are so young. I say this like it's easy, but it can definitely be difficult to be content with small changes over a long time. That's why I like to journal, notebook after another, to remind myself the small things that I should appreciate, to write my thoughts out or to plan my days ahead. I began journaling in year 8, and it's fascinating to see the patterns in my behavior over the last few years. I highly recommend giving journaling a try. I would also prefer buying the more cool-looking books, as it makes it feel more special. When I journal, I always try to return to my present moment, because it's really easy for me to get lost dreaming about something far into the future. As such, when I journal, I always end up reminding myself of the same principles: to take things slow, not to overextend myself, and to be grateful for what I have. Over the last few years, I see that my writing has slowly focused more and more on these principles because they have worked. One last principle which has influenced me the most over the last couple of years is called the competence-confidence loop. It's called the competence-confidence loop, and it's a fascinating idea, and it's very intuitive. The more competent you are at something, let's say soccer, the more confident you are at playing it. But the more confident you are at playing soccer, the more likely you take risks doing it, thus learning from your mistakes and becoming more competent as a result. It's a full cycle, and it can be applied to everything. And when we tie everything together, to take small steps and risks, to be grateful and mindful, to know that competence feeds into competence and vice versa, you'll see that they all work together to help us become better individuals. Of course, this is a reminder, in fact everything I said is one Google search away. I know that we're all in our journey, I know that we're all in our different journeys, and what I've learned may not have worked for you, but when I look back at the small habits I established in year 8, taking small steps, taking things slow, and taking small risks, they've been fundamental in my growth. Had I been unaware of these principles, I would have found this spotlight impossible to present. I would have been too shy, but here I am. So I must be grateful for this progress and learn from my mistakes. These are simple reminders that are easy to implement and have massive benefit. To take small steps, to be grateful, and to remember that competence feeds into confidence, and vice versa. Thank you.
Hi, my name name's Imogen Damon and I'm the Sutherland House Captain, and I'm going to talk about a generally unspoken topic in high school, but I believe it's relevant to deal with so you can all reach your full potentials. You try too hard, you're such a teacher's pet, and you always suck up. Wait, why'd you stop trying? You're really letting go. Step up your game. Why do you even bother trying? It's just annoying. These are all small examples of the things that people have told me throughout high school. I always felt like I could never be perfect enough to fit in, and it always made me miserable. Judgment and opinions are two things that are going to follow you for the rest of your life. So here's a newsflash for you all now. You're never going to be able to make everyone happy. So stop trying to please everyone else. If you choose to let what people say get to you, you will inevitably spend your whole life not being yourself because you got too hung up on what everyone else was thinking and that you were going to be judged. It's time for you all to think for yourselves now. Are you really happy with the person you're becoming, or are you just being influenced by what other people have to say? I know that I used to feel silenced because I was scared that if I worked to the best of my ability or I was too outgoing, that I would just get shut down by everyone else. It takes experience to learn that you need to put yourself first and not worry about what other people think about you. And it's much easier said than done. I still struggle with it sometimes. But it all starts with sticking to your interests and your hobbies. Mine is singing and playing rugby. And it's also about sticking to your values, what you believe in. Mine are always making sure I give 110% in everything I do and trying to make sure I have a kind and positive impact on all the people around me. I learned that when I stay true to my values, I feel stronger because I know I'm not going to stop trying my best and being myself just because other people say it's weird or not cool. It took one person to open my eyes to this. This one person told me I can do everything I believe in. And I want to be that one person for all of you because it's true. This is a truly life-changing thing, and I'm always going to be a friendly face around school if you ever want to talk and if you're struggling in any way. Please don't hesitate to ask for advice. I'm always going to be here. Thank you, and always remember to stay true to yourselves.
Hello, my name is Kira Williams and I am one of your sports captains for 2022, and I am here today to talk about time. As a Year 12 student, I honestly cannot believe that I'm in my last year of high school, my 13th year at Bishop Druitt College, and I have about 7 months of my schooling career to go. Many of my friends that I have known for 10 plus years are turning 18, driving, and are now eligible to vote. So I'm standing up here today to remind you all just how fast time can go, so don't waste it. I started school at 4 years old, and now I am standing here today, 13 years older, and it all happened in the blink of an eye. And to tell you, for the time I've been at Bishop Druitt College, I cannot for the life of me remember any of the stupid fights I've had with my friends, assignments that I've barely managed to finish on time, and presentations that I've had to do. The only thing that I remember is the people that I have met over the years and the amazing memories that we've shared together. For those of you thinking I am saying that those assignments aren't important, you are surely mistaken. Don't bludge school, as it is still important. What I'm really saying though is treasure the time that you have with the people around you, as that time can fly by without you even realizing. We all need to make time, save time, and spend time. Life can move pretty quickly or slowly when it's period 6 on a Friday afternoon. But recently, there is a question that I am being constantly asked. What are you thinking of doing after school? A question that just last year I could never imagine myself trying to answer, which reinforces that I am almost at the end of my school journey, about to start the next phase. Over the past few years, I've realised we all have to make sacrifices. But a quote from Bill Watterson, the creator of Calvin and Hobbes, said it best. There's never enough time to do all the nothing we want. So for the kids just starting Year 7, now is the time to be organised. Set priorities and goals and get things done. Do everything you want to do, but don't waste time doing nothing. Make memories, finish work early, and do the things that you can do. For my Year 12 cohort, personally, I'm looking forward to finishing school, as this has not been the easiest journey. But I'm also looking forward to the amazing memories we will be creating together over the next few months. I'm here to say, bring on 2022, and bring on the final moments that we will be sharing together. As I know, when I look back on my high school journey, these moments will be the things that I remember the most.